Good, happy Thursday evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Pence filing Trump for primary ballot pushes back hard on Democratic-led impeachment inquiry. Vice President at State House says nation has made remarkable progress under Trump presidency. Let's take a look at this video.
Trying to get pregnant? Get nutrients your pre-baby body needs. Let's help grow a healthy bundle of joy with the first prenatal gummy with a good source of choline.
America great. New Hampshire, we need 4 more years.
An enthusiastic crowd greeting the Vice President as he made his way to the Secretary of State's office. The Vice President filing the paperwork to put the President's name on the ballot for the New Hampshire primary. However, the President will not have an uncontested road to victory in the primary. At least a couple of Republicans are expected to challenge him, including former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld. But the Vice President says the President is the best person to ensure the country keeps moving forward.
In so many ways, a movement that has transformed our country, rebuilt our military, revived the American economy, restored and strengthened the constitutional foundation of our courts, has America standing tall in the world again, has made America great again, began here in the Republican primary in New Hampshire.
This will not be the only political stop for the Vice President in New Hampshire. In about an hour from now, he is expected to speak at Politics and Eggs, where he is expected to stress the economy and the administration's efforts to combat the opioid crisis. Reporting live in Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Mike Pence, all of my contacts with Ukraine president were in the national interest. Asked about contacts with Ukraine president, Vice President Mike Pence said the president and the administration did nothing wrong in communication with Ukraine president. Donald Trump's phone call with Ukraine president over the summer is under investigation in ongoing impeachment inquiry. Person of interest in death of Romney couple held on $1 million bond. Adam Curtis Williams taken into custody on a felony theft charge related to the case. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
Now's the best time of year to get more for your money on a new Mahindra. Enjoy 0% interest.
Authorities in Texas tell us Adam Curtis Williams and his girlfriend Amanda Novaire are in custody at this hour. Williams is in jail in Texas. He was brought there last night after his capture in Mexico yesterday. His girlfriend Novaire is still being held in Mexico and is awaiting extradition to Houston later today. Investigators say Williams is a person of interest in connection with the deaths of Jim and Michelle Butler from Romney. Authorities say they are identified Williams and Novaire Novaire after they were spotted on surveillance driving the Butlers' pickup truck and trailer into Mexico. The Butlers' bodies were found in a shallow grave on Padre Island in Texas. Right now, Williams and Novaire have not been charged in connection with their deaths.
At this point, they're only charged with felony theft, and we're keeping our mind open as to all other possibilities. There is no one time we stop. There isn't a silver bullet moment where we say, "Oh, we have enough. Now we can stop." We will continue to search for evidence.
Authorities say anyone who has information should come forward with evidence to the Clayburgh Sheriff's Office. They say every fact is valuable. Live in the newsroom, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Part of Route 111 back open in Kingston after crews battle fire. Let's take a listen to this video.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Yeah.
It's Thursday, a breaking traffic alert for drivers in the Kingston area. Route 111 is closed right now between Route 125 and Ball Road. The road is closed while crews battle a fire there. Drivers should avoid that area if you can.
Okay, that was the video and report earlier this morning. A portion of Route 111 was temporarily closed Thursday morning in Kingston because of the response to a fire. The road was closed between 125 and Ball Road, officials said. The road was closed while crews battled the fire. The road was reopened after 10 a.m. New Hampshire unsolved case file. What happened to Tammy Belger? 1984 disappearance of 8-year-old girl remains unsolved. Let's take a look at this video. Okay, and there you go on that video. And now let's take a look at that U.S. stock market and see how U.S. stock market closed for this Thursday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you this Thursday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the green and went up. U.S. 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the green and it went up. That's a look at your U.S. stock market. Dow rises more than 150 points to record as investors dump bonds and buy stocks on trade optimism. Stocks rose to record high on Thursday after the world's two largest economies reportedly agreed to remove existing trade tariffs, sparking a huge rotation into equities and out of bonds. Trump outsourced Ukraine policy to Giuliani, diplomat says. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
The latest on the impeachment showdown. Democrats stepping up the pressure on President Trump, announcing the first public hearings next week and releasing the testimony of a key witness detailing a quid pro quo with Ukraine. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega's tracking on. Cecilia, we're also learning that the president asked Attorney General Barr to hold a press conference and clear the president of wrongdoing.
Yeah, Bill Barr didn't actually go through with this request to hold this press conference on television and basically clear the president's name. But, George, this just seems to be the latest example of President Trump attempting to use the Justice Department for his own personal gain. Overnight, President Trump fired up about impeachment.
It's all a hoax. It's a scam.
And this morning, ABC News has learned the president's so frustrated by the controversy, he asked that Attorney General William Barr hold a press conference to clear his name and say he broke no laws in that now infamous phone call with Ukraine. It happened in September when the White House released its summary of that call. Sources say Barr declined the request. In recent weeks, the president has mentioned Barr's refusal to associates, saying he wished the Attorney General would have followed his wishes. Overnight, President Trump lashing out on Twitter, calling the story totally untrue.
But while we are delivering safety and prosperity for Americans, the radical left Democrats are trying to rip our nation apart.
It comes as Democrats now plan to take their case directly to the American people, calling on key witnesses to publicly testify next week. The top American diplomat to Ukraine, Bill Taylor, up first. His closed-door testimony now made public as well. Taylor telling lawmakers the president outsourced Ukraine policy to his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Taylor saying it was his, quote, clear understanding that Ukraine would not receive military aid until they agreed to investigate the president's political rivals. Taylor laying out a quid pro quo, but Republicans still struggling to mount a defense for the president. And you heard the president there overnight out there on the campaign trail sounding confident, saying that impeachment will basically backfire on Democrats and give him a boost in 2020. But we now know the White House is beefing up for this impeachment, bringing on two of the president's allies to its team. George, their job is going to basically be to fight this fight in the public.
Right, and see, we also have some news from the president's first Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, set to announce today that he's going to run for his old Senate seat in Alabama, and so many eyes now on President Trump and the White House because he had such a tumultuous relationship with Sessions.
Exactly, and George, this announcement is going to come on the 1-year anniversary of the day that Sessions was fired as Attorney General. You'll remember the president was not happy, livid in fact, that Sessions recused himself from the Mueller probe. He has called Sessions a disaster, a disgrace, and the biggest mistake of his presidency. So, George, while Sessions might enjoy some popularity back in Alabama, not so much here at the White House.
We'll see what that means in the primary. Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and bye, everyone.